CSE?
Yeah.
Should we say?
Yes.
Okay. Just clarifying.
All right. The word from the elementary end is that Tanner LaPlante, who's actually a 7th grader, is this year's geography bee champion. That bee was from 4th to 8th graders competing. It took place on Friday, and Tanner will now test on January 31st in order to qualify for future geography competitions. So it's pretty exciting. The second marking period will end on the 25th. This day was originally scheduled to be a half day for students, but now students will have the entire day off, which I know makes them very, very sad. The reason for that is to provide more professional development activities for supporting teacher development, specifically in continuing to implement Common Core state standard changes, to implement changes in our elementary reading program, to allow for more professional development for goal setting for our special education teachers, and a wide variety of other opportunities that we're just sorely lacking time to implement. So it'll be time well spent. The kindergarten through 6th grade teachers are almost 100% on board with our move to the daily 5 framework for reading instruction. And they're all in various phases of implementation. It does take a while. The framework is an approach to reading instruction in which students spend well beyond the majority of their class time reading at their instructional level and writing from the text that they can read. The approach does not replace grade level instruction, but it is being implemented in an effort to close significant reading gaps at early grade levels. So we'll continue that work. Our second of 3 standard benchmark assessments were completed using the new STAR assessment software, reading, mathematics, and early literacy. The remedial specialists at the elementary level, and I continue to refine our analysis model for data, and are using our BOCES literacy coach to develop a K through 6 tracking system for all students, so that data travels with the student. And finally, our evaluation system is up and running. It's a massive learning curve for everyone involved. And the change has been more comfortable for some than for others. Anyone who might be interested in looking at that evaluation model, what the software looks like, what the research is behind it, feel free to stop by. The system represents a substantial change in how teaching is evaluated, and while that exists here at our district level, it exists statewide, and for any state that took Race to the Top money, it exists nationwide now. And it'll take some time to get used to.
Any issues with that yet?
No, refining and tweaking the system. You know, part of it is getting used to the software and then figuring out how that helps and hinders the process. So there have been some process questions. There's still a lot of learning about the rubric that was chosen. It's very different from some others that are out there. But I think people are doing the best with it. And there's a lot that will be learned from it. And I mean, I personally think it's very worthwhile. And that's it.
As far as high school, we have started to get region schedule up and ready. These are just for retake tests. One of the days, since the school is closed, we are trying to ascertain from parents if their children will still need transportation to school. We usually have 8 or 9 students that day that will be taking. We sent a letter home to all the students to write, do you need a bus to pick you up? The parents transport, we will be driving. So we're taking care of all those things for that one particular day. We will be doing coverage and have to use obviously extra rooms, sometimes as many as 5 or 6 rooms for each is underway. Basketball is up and coming, but before we know it, the seasons are going to be coming to an end, and we're going to be into playoffs. Our half-year courses will end at the end of this month, and some students will get some new courses on their schedules. Linda and I have just started meeting with all the departments for the high school to start doing scheduling for next year, because all of those meetings contractually have to be done by March. So we're going to have those under process right now. The BOCES bid pack, first of all, the BOCES bid has been accepted for both the elementary and the high school. The teachers have turned theirs in. So that's it for the high school. For myself, if you notice, you have this rather large packet, St. Lawrence Lewis BOCES initial service request. Usually you don't get them this early. I figured since we turned them in January, you might as well get them to see what it is we ask for. These are all of our shared services at every angle, from custodial to the bus garage to all the different things for testing that we get through either BOCES through St. Lawrence County or Oneida BOCES or Jefferson, Lewis. Unfortunately, when you get the initial, there's not a cost here. But this often is a big chunk of our budget. So I just wanted you to look at and see some of the things that we're going to be ordering. And for the most part, there are many of the things we have this year and for the past several years. So if anybody has any questions about that, let me know. As you know, we did start a cafeteria committee. I think we've met 4 times, and we've made some improvements and changes, enhancements, I should say, also with the result of the assessment that was done by Nadine for us. One of the first things that the community will see in a difference is if you either have a low balance or a negative balance. Instead of Mrs. Whitmarsh always sending out letters or contacting people, they will be getting an automated system letting them know where they stand. Obviously that saves quite a bit of Kathy's time to not have to create those letters to people who see that. It's all done through the account system of our school messenger. We also have looked at, over the last couple of meetings, of some of the people that have left the cafeteria for one reason or another, and at this point have hiring on hold and looking at if we can work with what we have. We switched around one group of students to have them meet downstairs so that upstairs cafeteria would be closed sooner, get that done, bring that up downstairs to help with different things. Our breakfast procedures we're currently looking at, also trying to change it, make it less manpower. Snack time, kind of completely revised to, again, make that less manpower. We only get 78 cents per student for a snack. So if you have a person working 2 hours to deliver the snack, that more than kills your money that you're getting for the snack reimbursement. So that all the after school people have been more than helpful in helping give out snacks, tally, keep track. And all of those changes have been due to or because of our committee for the cafeteria. So we have seen some positive changes. We also just watched John, Frank, myself, Angie, and Beck in a webinar that talked about how we can incorporate WinCap, which is our financial system, into using time cards. From what I see initially, it's quite an expense the first year. So it is something we will talk about and look at to see if there's that. Rather than the 4 department heads doing the time cards, figuring out time, doing that, it will be done computer-wise. And it also would avoid time clocks because the people would just punch in right to the system and it would be more exact. So we are looking at that for all of these services within the cafeteria, transportation, and maintenance. Amy, can you just give us the dates for the project challenge again? Is it the 12th and 13th or the
Oh, Challenge Day.
challenge day?
Yes, can I talk about Challenge
Yes.
Day? Everyone knows it's coming,
Yes.
right? Challenge Day, February 12th and 13th. On the 12th, which is a Tuesday, that will be the 9th and 10th graders. We're looking for community members as well as board members to participate as adults. It's a full day program from about 7:40 in the morning until 2:35. You can stay at the gym all day with 100 students. Only get to leave to go to the restroom. Sounds like a great time. So Tuesday would be the 9th and 10th graders, and then Wednesday would be our 7th and 8th grade group. Again, same idea. I can see some smiling faces. I know you want to talk to me afterwards. I'll be here. We're going to be having gym in the lunch, or lunch in the gym. It's going to be a great day. So I do have a handout for the board members that I'm giving you some more information about dressing casually that day, things of that nature. Can I also mention shared decision making?
Yep.
Mandy is the representative for the board on the shared decision making committee, and we are going to be hosting a Heroes Week at the end of April. I'm not sure Mandy's aware of this, but I worked on that after a meeting. We're going to be combining that with something you might remember, the hero ceremony that we had maybe 2 years ago. I've talked with Val Claro's leadership class. They're willing to work with us on our Reading Heroes Week. So we're going to have a week of activities where students, and we're proposing all sorts of different ideas where, get a buddy, read with someone else, design a t-shirt. We're going to have a book wall with, again, our theme being heroes. I'll see you afterwards, everyone. Don't try to leave.
Also, any board members, if you're interested, please email Amy and let her know if you're interested one day, both days. But unfortunately, it is a full day commitment. You can't come for half the day. Once you're in there, they kind of lock us in there. So same for board, community people, if you're interested, you can email Amy or contact the office. That's all I have for you.
Okay.
Can I have a motion to enter executive session for the purpose of discussions regarding proposed pending or current litigation and employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person? Andy? Is there a second? Chris? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion is carried. We're in executive session, if that clock is right, at 8:24.